All right, thanks for staying with us. And up next, it's time for newspaper review.
All right, with joy, I introduce Chukwudi Okolie Ugbaja back on set for newspaper review. Chukwudi, good to see you again this Friday. Good morning to you.
I like the introduction. That's DJ-like.
You know, J-O-Y. She said with joy. That word got to me.
That's DJ-like.
Yeah, Ray. Anytime. Victor,
Welcome, sir.
how you do?
They're fine, no.
Yes.
Jealousy. All right, let's look at what the papers have. We'll begin with the People's Daily this morning. The People's Daily leads with reps want probe of alleged 50 billion naira corruption asset stripping in Nigeria police. All right, so all of that on page 5. Above that, Wike refutes claim of allocating 2,082 hectares Abuja land to SAN. All right, I'm sure you want to hear that again. But pick up a copy to read the details. That's on page 21. Bandits stranded with rustled cattle in Niger after clash with military. That's on page 5. Looking below the picture story now. Tinubu denies NDLEA amendment bill assent, cites transparency concerns. Court adjourns PDP leadership crisis suit until September 22. Governor Bago closes IBBUL over security breaches. All right, that's on page 7. INEC fixes August 16 for by-elections in 12 states. You want to get the details of all of that, page 4 has that for you. And finally, tax reform bills deliver first major pro-people tax cuts in a generation. That's as regards the tax reform bills that were signed by the president. Let's quickly look at what the business NG is offering this morning. The business NG leads with banking sector, now 63% of GDP as assets hit 170 trillion naira despite naira slide. Above that story, just below the masthead, bandits seize Kankara local government area in Katsina, ban farming. Kankara local government in Katsina has been seized by bandits and farming has been banned. That's on page 14 of the business NG. 15.1 billion in 2025, $25 billion by 2030. That's Nigeria pension growth forecast. Money markets rates soar above 32% amid liquidity crunch. Now that's on page 2. And finally, we have NLC threatens shutdown of FCT over prolonged area council strike. All right, Victor.
All right, thank you, Emre. And I have the daily asset here with me. And the lead story reads, President directs comprehensive civil service personnel audit, signs tax reform bills, 3 others into law, rejects NDLEA bill over crime proceeds clause. And that story is on page 4. Just above the nameplate, Cardoso named African Central Banker of the Year is on page 2. And the picture story here details National Emergency Management Agency Enugu Operations Office that in collaboration with the Ebonyi State Emergency Management Agency distributed relief materials in support of households affected by an attack by unknown gunmen in the Nkalaha community. All right. And just below that, Benue attacks. CDS orders clamp down of illegal arms bearers. IGP directs investigation as retired officer rejects 2 million naira pension. You get details of that on page 2. And just on the boxes, tiny boxes to the right, Bago orders immediate closure of IBBUL over security breaches and loss of lives. Page 6. Impossible to discuss cultural impact in Nigerian music without me. That's chest thumping from Terry G, and that's on page 16. Senate holds regional security stakeholders meetings to tackle insecurity. It's on page 22. ally of Cameroon president, 92, quits broken government to challenge him. The details are on page 28. And finally, WAFCON 2024. Super Falcons arrive Casablanca for final preparation. It's on page 31. Chukode.
Ally of Cameroon. How old is the ally?
Well, not from the, at least I wouldn't know that from the...
I thought you said 92.
No, the president himself.
Oh, the president is 92. Otherwise, I was going to say that is a dance of grand old man, then, the politics there. Anyway, let me quickly talk about the banks. 170 trillion naira assets. That's a good one. It makes you feel that your money is safe. They wouldn't be so buoyant if there was a threat to the little monies we have there. But at the bottom of it all is how much. Now, this is in spite of the naira slump. They're doing well. In fact, it's unexpected. Sometimes you can't explain how the Nigerian economy works, particularly when you're not an economist like me. The point I want to make is, you are announcing these assets. We are heralding these assets. But how much does the Nigerian bank, I'm talking about a symbolic bank now, contribute to productivity or production within the Nigerian, economic space? Where are the monies coming from? If it's from all these jemu charges and all that, I know government gets some of it, but the banks do get some as well. It is not productive. It is just helping them pile up notes. What is going to matter to us, finally, is how much you can ask that boy that left the university about 3 years ago and is still looking for a job. Get a loan that has a tenor of, let's say, about 4 or 5 years. You don't drive him into a panic about repayment when he has not set up yet.
Low interest rate, of course.
A low interest, and of course, you are going to help him also, give him advisory, play an advisory role as how to grow that economy.
Exactly.
Only then, that business. Only then would you become very relevant to the growth of Nigeria and Nigerians. I think the banks, fine, we are happy for them. I think they need to become more relevant to real growth in the Nigerian economy. That's my take on that. Did you say that somebody said, yes, Onwike gave his son 2,082 hectares?
Yes. 2,000 and
Did you say somebody said
82.
It is, no. As far as I'm concerned, it's gossip. Because, first of all, I don't know what anyone is going to do with 2,082 hectares. 1 hectare is how many plots now? About 10.
About 10 plots.
10. Then you multiply 10 by 2,082. How many campuses are you building there and all that? But mind you, it's an allegation.
But you know what they say about every rumor?
Every
allegation, anything that, comes to limelight.
No smoke without a fire somewhere. Well, it was a minister the other day. You have to be fair to Wike. You have to be fair to anybody who gets accused, and it has not been proved yet. A minister said, before he stepped in here, he said, any man who wants to hurt you will find a reason. Any man who wants to hurt you will find a reason. So we could say there's no smoke without fire, but it could also be that somebody is trying to give somebody a bad name. Till we have investigated, particularly talking as journalists,
exactly,
we never ever, take it with a pinch of salt. That said, the president is directing a comprehensive civil service personnel audit. Bifonko, you would say quickly. It's not just the civil service. I don't know whether it is need that drives action in Nigeria or greed, don't be surprised that they're going to find some ghost workers. Don't be surprised that you're going to find a lot of hanky-panky somewhere. It has become the way we think.
People who should have retired still in service.
That's it. I'm not talking about people like me. I left about 9 years ago. You know, the question you want to ask is there any segment of this country that does not carry one kind of odium or another in terms of corruption, in terms of lack of transparency? And if there isn't, has it become our culture? How would we come out of this quagmire we have put ourselves in? The other day, somebody said, those who are complaining about corruption are those who don't have relatives who help them get some of the national cake. He said, that's the way we are now. So it's not just the politicians only. I was telling somebody whom I gave something to do on the farm, and he did a few things, and I said, and you're here blaming government. See what you have done. He said, Oga, no, they get the money. They think we are part of the, you know, we want to take through you too. So it's become a way we think, and that does not grow a country. So let them carry out the audit, save money for capital development, capital funds, free up money for development that will benefit a lot of Nigerians, because they're going to find out a few things there. I want to think so. That's it. Okay?
Bandit sees local government in Katsina ban farming.
I think we should stop.
A whole local government.
I think we should stop saying that Nigeria is so vast to be effectively policed by the number of booths we have now. There are certain things that should not happen. A whole local government. That means they are territorially territorial. You can see them occupy the space. So what is so difficult about getting them off the place there? They are running the place.
Why are you surprised? It's not the first time. Time was when bandits, or is it Boko Haram, that seized several local governments.
Yes, I know. But it shouldn't be. Not in a sovereign like Nigeria.
When you say a hole, we are not talking about just a hole. We're talking about several a-holes, if you like.
Well, we're talking about the
I'm
what?
just saying with this renewed drive. I mean, the local governments that were seized were at least in the past. But I mean, with the new statements we're hearing,
there should be improvement in the scale, isn't it? We should not be hearing that a local government has fallen to bandits. It should be skirmishes bandits have with the security men, hit and run, ambush style attacks and all that. Not that they occupy space that you see that they really occupy that space. Something is wrong with policing.
Indeed. Well, we have to release you so that nothing will be wrong with us here. Your time is up, but we appreciate your time.
Was I showing the signs of pugilism?
We'll see you again on Monday.
Our producer could get us arrested or something.
All right. Thank you for staying with us. Good Morning Nigeria continues right after this break. Please don't go away.